Hey, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening. It's early evening for me. Well, I guess here I am, man. I don't know if anybody will ever watch this, but I'm gonna tell y'all, man. I personally never made one of these videos. Never thought I would make one of these videos. I don't believe in taking my personal experience, especially if it's a negative personal experience, and try to push it on to other people, because I believe everybody should go through their own experiences. But I also believe that if the experience is that horrible and it's, that bad, that maybe if you could share it with someone and prevent them from going through the same experience and save them the trouble and the headaches and just everything, man, then it's good to share. So that's one of the reasons why I'm sharing this video. And, I want to start off by saying that I'm currently a driver. I drive for Legend Transportation out of Yuba City, California. I've been driving for nearly 20 years. As y'all can see, man, I'm licensed out of Alaska. I've driven in 49 out of the 50 states. I do want to go to Hawaii just to get a job, just so I can say I've driven in all 50 states. I've been blessed to say I've driven in 49 though. Worked for a lot of companies. Before this company, I was an owner operator. Fuel prices, rate going low. It just got hard for me. Thank God I didn't sell my truck. I thought that, coming to a company would be better. Don't have to fork the expenses over the repair bills and fuel and everything, man. That stuff takes a toll on you, especially when you have, one truck. Insurance and everything's gone up. Insurance gone up, fuel gone up, but the rate's gone down. So I decided to become a company driver. I came to Legend. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, this has been this experience has broken me. It's broken me. Took the love of driving out of me. It hurt me deeply how a company can treat their drivers like this, treat people like this. I watched a few videos before I posted this video, and it kind of really made me say, okay, man, maybe I should make a video as well, because in one video there was supposedly a Legend driver, which I don't really think he's a driver. It doesn't take nothing for somebody in the office to go out to the yard and sit in one of the trucks and make a video. Like, okay, I'm a truck driver, I drive for Legend, and I love it. Well, this one particular individual said he had made over $50,000 in his first 6 months. Well, ironically, I've currently been here for 6 months. Started in November, December, January, February, March, April. This is my 6th month. You made $51,000 with this company. Dude, listen, I'm not late on my loads. I'm early. I'm early on 90% of my loads. 90% of my loads, I'm early. I drive my ass off when they let me. I've talked to other Legend drivers, quite a few, and I usually get two things from them. There's either two very, very common responses that I get from other Legend drivers that I see. There's actually a Legend driver here. Is parked on the other side of this white truck here. There's another Legend driver here. I actually talked to him, and he had actually said, again, like I said, they usually have one or two responses when I ask them how they feel about the company. Well, the first response, not the first response. Well, yeah, the first response that I usually get is they don't like it. They leaving. I'm leaving. I'm done. The second response I guess is they love it. And I remember asking this driver, I said, wow, you love it? You get your miles? And he was like, yeah, I drive, around 300 miles a day. Not too much. I don't want to drive no more than that. So what do you do for the rest of the time? Just sit in the truck at the truck stops? Because that's what you're doing now. And and walking, and I noticed that the man lived in his truck. He didn't really want to work. And then I talked to another driver, And the other driver said, oh, I love it. My other company worked me too hard. They expected me to drive close to 3,000 miles. Closest to 3,000 miles a week as possible. Please, God, give me 3,000, close to 3,000 miles a week. Please, I beg you. I beg you for 2,500 miles a week. Man, give me 2,000 miles a week. It's not happening here at Legend. It's not. I've been here for 6 months. I went through my pay stub. I've had 5 good weeks in 6 months. My paychecks are so crappy, man, I don't even cash them out no more. They give you that EFS card. They transfer your paycheck on your EFS card. You go on that EFS card and you transfer it to your bank account. I stopped doing that, man. I got more money in my bank account. I literally have more money in my bank account than what I'm making with Legend. The money that I saved up for being an owner operator for the last 6 months is what I've been living on. And I didn't work for 6, 7 months, 8 months before I came over here after I parked my truck. And I'm still living off the money that I made as an owner operator, because these checks that I receive at Legend is a joke. And the only way I can make sense of making it transferable to my account is to let it sit and build up. So every week I just watch it build up, and it's not that high. Communication, the worst. I don't get it, man. See, when a company gets too big, they start hiring people, and they hire people in the office, dispatchers and drivers, managers, and such and such and such positions that's never been in the trucking industry before, let alone driven a truck before. So they have no understanding of the truck industry, let alone driving a truck. The obstacles, the things we incur every day with traffic jams, traffic accidents, weigh stations, inspections, just traffic, period, man. People cutting us off, the disrespect that we receive from the shippers and receivers, the disrespect that we receive from the other drivers on the road, the four-wheelers. They seem to hate us. They don't want, they think that trucks don't belong on the road, but they love our service, supposedly. They just don't love us. The disrespect we receive at the truck stops nowadays, I mean, there was a time where trucking was a respectable profession. I was proud to say I'm a trucker, because before I was a trucker, I was a whole lot of other things, including an inmate at a penitentiary, at a maximum penitentiary. So when I got my CDL license and I started getting those respectable paychecks to where, hey man, I don't have to think about street money no more. I'm making good money. And people ask me, well, what do you do? Where you work at? And I would tell them I'm a truck driver. And I would tell my kids I was a truck driver, and I would watch my kids tell their friends and I was a truck driver. It was great. It was something that I've never experienced in my life. It gave me a new life. It saved my life. Trucking saved my life. I'm free today because of trucking. I'm alive today because of trucking. I would not be alive in them streets today. I would not be free today in them streets today. Trucking saved my life. I fell in love with trucking. I've done all types of trucking. Hopper bottom, tankers, vans, belt drives, walking decks. You imagine. I pulled a lot. I haven't pulled a flatbed. I respect you flatbedders, man. I really do, man. Or a car hauler. I'm a little too tall for a car. All that bending down, I'm getting old, my back. I respect you guys too, man. That's a lot of work, man. Especially hopper bottom, man. I love hopper bottoms, man. All I gotta do is open up the bottom and let it pour out. Great. Bumping docks, I'm not really a fan of. Sitting in the dock, man, I can't sleep when they unloading me. I'm sitting there for hours and hours, in the line to check in, and to check in just to wait to get a door, and then once you get in the door, then to wait some more. I mean, we get treated like shit, man. We got they want lumper fees, early fees, late fees. I mean, fines, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and we're not gonna pay you shit. If you don't know this, it does not matter. I just picked up a load that was 41,000 pounds plus on my drive. They will find a way to make it driver fault. It's the driver's error, no matter what. But this company, Legend, man, took the love of trucking out of me. It broke my spirit with trucking. It broke my heart with trucking. You know, man, I thought truckers was, I mean, trucking was it was a lifestyle, man. It was great, man. Being on the road, you know, these, you know, they not around as much no more, but the old moms and pops, and they, man, just, you know, just trucking was a community. We're not a community no more, man. And I'm starting to figure out why. It's these companies, man. Y'all not experiencing the real trucking, man. This, with these electronic logs and these crappy dispatchers and these crappy planners and these crappy driver managers, you guys are not really getting to experience. So a lot of you drivers that like these companies, like this Legend company, you've only been driving for 1 or 2 years. You haven't really experienced driving yet. And a lot of you drivers have only been driving for a year or two. Man, appreciate you. Welcome to the club. You know, man, yeah. It's still, to me, special to hold the CDL. You know, to be a CDL holder, it still means a lot to me. So, the new drivers and the people who continue to get their license, yes, congratulations. And I wish you the best. But don't stick with a company if you're not happy. Just because they might throw you a bone every once in a while. Balance it out. But if the bad is way more than the good, move on. And that's where I'm at. But this company has got me to the point where it's like, man, are all the companies like this? Has trucking really gone this south, this bad? I know truckers ain't the same no more. There's no courtesy. There's no mutual respect. Just, you know, man, we literally put our lives on the line, man. Every day. More people die in car accidents than anything. And that's what we do. We are sitting at the crap table every day rolling the dice. How long can you sit at the crap table and not crap out? You know? But we want it to be rewarding as well. See, if you're in a relationship and you truly love your significant other, but your significant other doesn't love you the same and doesn't return the love the same, that's a bad relationship. And as well as with the company that you're working for. If you're working for a company and you're giving them your all, and you're going above and beyond to complete every task they give you, and when they call you and ask you for favors, you oblige. And they just treat you like shit, man. Legend Transportation, man, you broke my heart, man. I called my driver manager a few months back and I told him how I felt, man. I felt abandoned. I've been sitting for days and waiting on a load. And next thing you know, again, I was on a 34-hour forced reset. Not at home. all you legend drivers saying you making such and such, man, yo, put up, man. Put your graph up. Let me see the miles you running. Because if you ain't even gotta post your pay stubs if you don't want to be that personal. I prefer to see your pay stubs because I'm not believing you. Well, put your graph up. Post your log up. Because if your paychecks is that big, that means you getting the miles. Or just show your miles. If you get the miles you're running, you have hours of drive time, man. Tell you, man, this week I got 1,900 miles this week. Let me see. 700, 1,600. Oh, 700 plus 600 is 1,300 plus 400. 13, 17. I got 1,770.5 miles this week. And I'm gonna show you. I started on the 16th. So go. Are you ready? 527, 234, 64, 416, 406. That's 1,000. 1,764 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days out. Now they forcing me to take my 34. No, you've been sitting for 28 hours. You might as well finish your 34. Now I haven't been sitting for 28 hours because I wanted to. I've been sitting for 28 hours waiting for a load. You guys keep telling me I'm about to send you a load. We're about to send you a load. And then you go home and then the night dispatch be like, I don't know what you're talking about. They ain't say nothing to us. We don't have no load for you. And then I call in the morning, and then you say, well, do you have it empty? No, I don't have it empty. Okay, well, give us some time to find you an empty. It's 7 o'clock at night now. I talked to you at 7 o'clock in the morning, 12 hours later. Actually, 11 hours later, you called me back and said, well, you might as well take your empty. Take your 34. Dog, I did not know that. That is awesome. A lot of these people posting these videos up about Legend, they lying, man. I've talked to too many drivers. I've read too many reviews. The good reviews don't match up with each other. Too many bad reviews contradicting the good reviews. And a lot of the good reviews there, I just started with Legend, and so far it's been a good company. I got a brand new truck. I got a new truck. I'm not gonna lie. I've had no problem with their trucks. None. My flare came off. The little rubber in the back of the sleeper, you know, it got caught in the wind. It bent over, and I cut half of it off because it was just flapping. That was it, you know. When I got the truck, I had it tearing in it. The wind caught it one day driving through Texas, and I look out the window and I just see it flapping there like this. And I left it there for like a day or two, and it seemed like everybody driving by was just making fun of me. It was like, hey. So I started driving like this, like I was a little birdie. And I got tired of it, so I cut it down, man. I was gonna, you know, show it to them, man, but nothing I can do about it. Other than that, man, that's cosmetic. And it doesn't even really look bad because, like I said, it's just a little piece of it I cut off. As far as mechanical-wise, I haven't had any problems with their truck. Not all their staff. There's one good guy there. I'm going to be honest. I've been to their yards. Scary. I've been driving for almost 20 years, man, and some of those yards, they so, oh my God, it's like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, man, I think I'm gonna do some damage. You can't help but do damage. There's no room. You just read the reviews about their yards, man. It is the worst. I've only been in 1 yard worse than that. If anybody ever been to that Marilona Home Depot, that's what all our yards look like. If you've been to that Marilona Home Depot yard, where you go in and you drop the drop trailers yard, then you know what every one of the Legend yards look like. Clustered, just chaotic. If I had a OSD or whatever that word, compulsive disorder, I would go crazy in that yard. The mechanics, I don't know what to say about them, man. I mean, they got some good mechanics. I'm not gonna lie. They did an oil change. They couldn't get the truck to start for like 5-6 hours afterwards. They couldn't figure out why. And you know what ended up happening was they cracked one of the filters when they cracked one of the new filters when they was putting it in. And it took them about 6 hours to figure that out. I watched them the day my graduation from their orientation, when they was assigning truck. They assigned a truck which I believe to have a blown injector. If you looked into the coolant, the water, you see oil mixed with it. You see water mixed with the fuel. You drain the fuel filter, you see the water and oil in the fuel filter. So I was like, yeah, that truck looked like it has a little problems. And one of the mechanics came over and said, oh, it's okay. All the oil, all the water got oil, all the fuel got oil in it, all the fuel filters got. I said, the truck you assigned me don't have. Okay, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm technically really not a mechanic. Been an owner operator, worked on my truck a few times, man. Changed my own oil. Got great friends that are mechanics, and I've done a lot of work with them. And you know, been driving for almost 20 years, and I don't really know too much. That didn't look right. So the other mechanic came over and looked at it and did a few tests on it. Was like, yeah, he can't. They signed him. They ended up signing him another truck, so there was something wrong with that truck. Other than that, I haven't seen really too much problems with their trucks. But back to the mechanics. I tried to go in and get my tires changed. They didn't want to do that. In fact, he tried to change just one tire. And I was like, hey, man, no. I want all 10 of them changed. My steers and all my drives. You guys are running recaps. And crappy recaps at that. You guys so, you know, again, you know, I drive, I've driven for some crappy companies. I'm an owner operator. I understand about saving money and running the tires as long as possible. Tires are really expensive, so I definitely fully understand. Get as much as you can out those tires. You know, on my truck, I wouldn't have ran those tires that I asked to get changed. If I had to come out of my pocket at that time for those tires, I would have, just to be safe and not to be put out of service. So I had to go back and forth with him about, I'm driving the truck, not you. But if you want to drive the truck, I'm fine with that. But I'm not driving the truck, especially with the steers, man. My steers was horrible, man. They didn't look like they'd been changed since the truck was new. So, and I've had a steer blow out before, man, and it's scary. So, the mechanics, I'm gonna give them, out of a 5-star rating, I'm gonna give them a 3. 2.5 or 3, because they do. The mechanic standing in the back, he knows what he's doing. He's watching over. You know, the other little mechanics, they make mistakes. He'll come over and fix it. It might take a little longer. That's where That's why they don't get the full 4 or 5 stars. But you know, as far as getting things done, yeah, that part. You know, once they start working on your truck, yeah, they try to get it done. They try to get you back on the road. They have their own roadside service. I love it. You know, they have some good things with this company, man. I ain't gonna lie. I look at it like this. If you want a job, but you really don't want a job, and you want to work, but you really don't want to work, well, come to Legend. They'll give you a truck and plenty of sitting time. You'll work, just not enough to make a decent living, man. Not really. I feel like it's worth it. Again, I can't be the only one, man. They turnover rate is ridiculous. Legend Transport, horrible company, man. My first review ever on a company. Hopefully my last review ever on a company. I don't believe in taking my personal bad experience with a company and sharing it and just try to, you know, bad name them and bad mouth them. Not trying to do that. If you don't believe me, and go try it, man. If you want to save yourself a headache and a heartache and just total disappointment, avoid this company. But if you watch this video, this is my first video, thank you. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably boring. If you're a trucker, be safe. If you're a human being, be loving.